Let's talk about Hitler.
That'll make sense later.
I'm immaculately conceived.
I don't know what to do.
I swear I'm not stupid.
Take it or leave it. Sometimes you just want to leave it.
If I gotta borrow my mom's underwear, I'm borrowing her underwear.
You just, yeah.
Misa likes the Jar Jar Binks.
I'm not gonna edit it out.
Oh no.
I don't know. Like I think I'm just pretty great. Just staying on the
Sucks to
planet.
suck.
Why are you saying it with a question mark?
Clap, bitch.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Action.
And we're live. I'm Anna.
And I'm Jessica.
And this is where you're yelling, Happy Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
When we're recording this anyway.
Yes.
The Lord is risen.
He's risen.
Yeah.
Yay.
So in the spirit of Easter Sunday, I have a question that like a burning question I really need to know.
Yeah.
So the Easter Bunny, in your mind, what does he look like and what can he do? Like, I'm talking, can he talk? Can he not talk? How big is he? Is he on 4 legs or 2? Like, what is he laying eggs? Is he just bringing a basket of eggs? What's the sitch in your mind of the Easter Bunny?
I don't have a good answer for this because I never believed in the Easter Bunny. So even as a child, it didn't sit right with me. However, when you first said, like, what do I imagine?
Use your
when
imagination.
I think of the Easter Bunny. Well, I just think of like somebody down on their luck having to put on an Easter Bunny costume, then like when they're strapped for cash, like
a mascot.
Yeah, I think of that's to me like that's the Easter Bunny. Like I don't think of like a bunny. Like I don't think of like
an actual rabbit.
No. Like the Easter Bunny to me is just not. It's not a bunny. It's just like this mascot rabbit costume thing and. Yeah, it's not like Santa. Santa, I have a great answer. I love Santa, but yeah, the Easter Bunny I think was just never this thing I believed in. Like not the way I believe in Santa.
So did you get like Easter baskets?
Yeah, but like
I knew. But you knew it was from like your parents.
Yeah, because they were gonna buy the pre-made ones that like I saw at Rite Aid, and I'm like,
yeah,
the Easter Bunny didn't go get this.
The dead giveaway right there.
And I was always suspicious. Even with Santa, I was suspicious.
I was not. I'm very gullible, naive,
See,
you told me. I was like, okay, I trust my parents.
Yeah. So this was the beginning of all the problems. I have a memory of when I was little, like maybe 5, if not younger, where I was like, they think they're gonna get me. And then we were asleep, right? You know, my parents are waiting for me to fall asleep, and I thought, because I used to sleep in the bed with my parents till I was like 4 or something, and I remember holding on to my mom, and I'm like, I ain't letting go for shit. If she tries to get out this bed, I'm gonna catch her. And then obviously I woke up and I was like, whoa, but I was still like. You know that meme that's like you just can't, you know this, but you just can't prove it? That was me.
You're like, I know.
But I love the spirit of Santa. I don't feel like the Easter Bunny has a spirit, so I just don't care about it that much. Like I feel like
it's a her.
It, they, them.
I mean, it can be whatever you want it to be, but
no, I don't envision it. It's sexless. It's just a mascot.
Okay.
It's just an Easter Bunny. Like the Easter Bunny was never magical to me. Even as a little kid, like I was never like but the most exciting part was the Easter egg hunts when there was money, but not because I was like, Easter. Sorry, blasphemous.
So my version of the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, I'm curious of this because
in
I
my
don't have
head.
a good one.
Okay, he's like 6 feet tall, somewhere between 5 and 6 feet tall. Humanoid.
Okay,
so it's an actual bunny, but he walks on 2 legs. Full fur. But actual like humanoid actual bunny. He carries he doesn't lay the eggs. He carries a basket and then sets the eggs out.
I agree. I never envisioned the Easter Bunny laying the eggs.
Yeah, he sets the eggs out. And he just walks in your back door and leaves the Easter basket and then walks out the back door. That's how he delivers it. And the reason that's very specific to my childhood because I asked my parents once. We don't have a chimney. How does Santa get the presents in the house? And my mom said, well, we leave the back door unlocked and he comes in through the back door. And so then I was like, oh, well, the Easter Bunny uses the back door too.
Yeah.
So that's how he gets in the house. And what color is the Easter Bunny? He's like a tan bunny. He's not the stark white bunny. I don't like the white bunnies with the red eyes. They're kind of creepy. But he's like a tan, brown like that fawn shade of bunny.
I'm having a really hard time envisioning a bunny that is a humanoid bunny that's not a mascot. Like
Yeah,
I quite literally am like, I feel like later you're gonna have to go AI this bunny and show me like this is
and
the
be like,
closest
this is
thing.
the bunny.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to put that up because I am having a very hard time envisioning a humanoid bunny
Okay.
that's not a mascot. Like it's almost not computing.
Okay.
So
we'll do that.
I'm gonna need to see this because I'm like, I just can't. Like, I can see it being 6 feet tall.
Oh, also, so he's the fawn brown, sort of like a soft brown color. And he's got a little pink nose, and he's got a ribbon wrapped around his neck. It's a blue big bow wrapped around his neck. Like it's a satiny bow.
Okay.
And yeah, that's the Easter
Is
bunny.
he like the Trix bunny?
No.
Okay, so yeah, we're really gonna need to use.
No, he's not a cartoon. He's human or humanoid. Sorry, he's a humanoid.
Having a difficult time.
Yeah, because
I want to see this envisioned really bad. So I'm like, okay,
And he doesn't hop. He just walks because he's humanoid. He doesn't hop like a bunny.
He doesn't hop like a bunny. Does he have thumbs?
Yes.
He has hands.
Humanoid. He's a humanoid bunny.
Okay, you guys, so I just decided what I was going to do is I'm just going to insert these pictures in here now. So after we got done recording, Anna did use ChatGPT to come up with some images of how she imagined the Easter Bunny. Now, I just have to say, it goes from, in my opinion, relatively normal to 100% completely disturbing. If you are an audio-only listener, I would highly encourage you to remember to come look at this later because I'm telling you, and I cannot believe that she is okay with how this looks. I genuinely cannot believe that she's like, yep, this is how I envision the Easter Bunny. And just so you all are aware, I literally was like, so that's what you imagined as a child walking into your home and you were totally fine with it. And she's like, 100%, nothing about this is scary to me. Literally, why does it look like it's standing in a haunted forest? So let me just walk you through this, right? First of all, the first one she mocks up is this cute little fat bunny, right? And I'm like, okay, that actually looks like the Easter Bunny to me. Like, I didn't have a vision because, like I said, mine and like the person I envisioned to be the Easter Bunny is sort of just like somebody who needs some extra cash, a mascot. Yeah. So the first one right here, I'm like, yeah, that is actually cute. That's a cute bunny. I trust this bunny. Like, he can come into my house and leave me a basket. He's adorable. He looks like a bunny, y'all, but he's still tall. I guess he's not humanoidish, but that's I don't know. So then she sends me this one. She was at my house when she was doing this, so she showed me this one. This one's a bit... First of all, this is when we go into the haunted forest. I honestly do not understand why suddenly the first image is like, hey, here I am on this nice, cute sidewalk, flowers in the background, and then now he's in a haunted forest and he's obviously evil. So now it's slightly disturbing because I can see its leg muscle. Like, it's very... Still has like a bunny face, but yeah, so... Not as, it's slightly disturbing, but not that bad to me, right? Guys, I physically don't think you're ready to see the next image. Here we go. What the fuck is this? What is this, guys? Seriously. Maybe you don't find this disturbing. I do. I literally cannot believe this is how she envisions the fucking Easter Bunny. She's not in my house right now currently to defend herself, but basically the whole time she's just laughing like, yeah, that's it. This is it. But then she's like, nah, it's not completely the right shade. So then it's the very last image right here. This is how she envisions the Easter Bunny. This, right here. What the fuck is this? What in the actual demon is this? It's disturbing. I seriously feel like this could be a demon, like a sleep paralysis demon. Anyway, guys, I just had to insert this, and I did not feel like it was going to do it justice if I only just inserted the images because of how I felt viewing them. So anyway, please let me know in the comments what you think of how Anna envisions the bunny, the Easter Bunny, rather, and how do you envision him? All right. Sorry, back to the episode.
I don't understand what you're not understanding.
I'm having a really hard time. So yeah, we're definitely gonna be putting a picture up of her humanoid bunny afterwards.
Yeah.
We're gonna be.
And he delivers Peeps.
Well, I hate him. Peeps are disgusting.
Oh no. They're so good. I love a Peep. A slightly stale, the ones who know, it can't be a fresh Peep. It needs to be a slightly stale Peep. I need a little bit of tug on it, a little resistance.
I despise a Peep.
No, I love a Peep.
Ugh, God.
You know they have all sorts of flavors of Peeps. It's not just like the regular, like multicolored ones. They have like Pop-Tart flavored Peeps, like strawberry Pop-Tart. They have soda flavored Peeps, like root beer and Dr. Pepper. Yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, I've never been a Peep person. They're
Okay,
blasphemous
so
to me.
on the same theme of Easter, what is the superior Easter candy? Like, are you a jelly bean bitch? Are you like a Reester egg?
Reester egg?
Yeah, like Reese Easter bunny.
Yeah,
egg,
I
Easter
fuck
eggs.
with a Reester egg for
I
sure.
call them Reester eggs.
Yeah, no, I fuck with a Reese Easter egg. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Delicious. I could fuck with a jelly bean. I guess for me, the only Easter candy I do think of is like a Reese cup egg. Other than that, I'm not like, oh yeah, there's
like
Easter
Peeps.
candy.
There's
Yep.
Cadbury cream eggs that have the chocolate eggs that have the cream stuff inside.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever had one of those.
They're so delicious. They're so good. Okay, I will say if you're like a texture person and you can't do
slimy.
like it's a little gooey. It's kind of like the texture of like you ever had like a cherry cordial, like the chocolate covered cherry cordials?
I don't like cherries. I've trauma dumped multiple times of why I don't like cherries.
Okay. Well, they have like blueberry ones too. They have different fruits, but the cream, the cordial stuff that's around
yes,
it's like the creamy. It's kind of like caramel, but a little different texture wise.
I think
like
I
soft
could.
caramel.
I think I could be okay trying it.
Yeah,
I just never.
I
That just
love 'em.
wasn't like a candy that any. But jelly beans, yeah, I fuck with a jelly bean. But I mean, a Reese egg is superior to me.
Mhm.
But that's just because Reese in general is a superior
Yeah.
candy.
I think I'm like a Cadbury cream egg
Yeah.
and a Peep. And honestly, I like all of them. Like I don't love jelly beans, but I like them.
Yeah.
Like give me a small little packet of them, I'm good. I don't
Yeah.
need all jelly
I could
beans.
fuck with a jelly bean. Like if they're there, I'm eating them.
Yeah. But it's not
Yeah.
I'm not like my go-to.
No, I'm not gonna go buy jelly beans for fun. But
For myself.
But if there are
Yeah.
jelly beans, I'm eating them.
I agree. Okay, moving on.
So something I needed to point out: we were about to film. I'm setting up all the cameras,
God.
and we use our phones because we're poor, and it's way easier
Yeah.
for us how we function. And Anna gets a text message from somebody. Can I say the first name?
Yeah.
Okay, so she gets a text message from somebody named Nancy, and I'm like, "Oh, Anna, before we start, do you need to see this?" What did you tell me? Who Nancy was?
I said, "Oh, that's my mama. I'll answer her after we record."
And I said, just everyone pause. You have your fucking mama's name as her first name in your phone?
First and last.
That's just
And then
unacceptable.
she asked me, "Well, what do you have your mom's name saved under?" And I'm like, her first and last name. All of my family is first and last name. My brother, I have all like 5 of his names because he's got 2 middle names and he's a third. So he's got technically like 5 names in his name. But yeah.
Yes, you told me your mother's name is her first and last name. I checked. There it is.
Yeah. I said, go to my messages. Look, it's right there. All my family, first and last name. I don't think that's weird.
I find that disturbing.
Why?
It's just mom. It's grandma, mom, mama, mama. Mom, I don't understand. That's crazy to me. So then it made me think, what does everybody have their parents in their phone? This is my question to the audience, besides the Easter Bunny. Like, what do you have your parents in your phone? Is it their first and last name? Is it mom? Is it dad? What are your family members? Do you put their birth certificate names, or do you put like their nicknames, or like, are you using people's government names, or are you using like mom, dad, like
Pop.
their
Like,
titles?
yeah.
Yeah,
Dad.
that's insane to me. That's how you do that. I'm like, that's crazy.
I mean, there was at one point when I was in like high school, my mom told me and my brother that whatever we have her name or her contact saved in our phones as, she said add ICE
Yes.
in it it stands for in case of emergency. Like so that if anything were to happen, you end up in the hospital, they go through your phone. Like that's the thing that will come up. But now with like iPhones, they automatically have like you can select who's your in case of emergency contact. I have like 3 people.
Yeah. Also, you don't want people to grab your phone and think they're like a part of ICE.
Yeah, true. Times have changed.
Times have changed. I need to update that, actually. I think Travis's mom has ICE at the end of her name still.
She works for ICE.
She works for ICE. She's like 4 feet tall. So skinny.
Not even 100 pounds, soaking wet. Like,
yeah,
tiny
Watch
woman.
out.
She's coming for you.
So, yeah, that was just, I needed to know what people thought about that. Okay. Random things. I went to a really big flea market. It was actually called a swap meet. So I had a lot of car parts. Anyway, in South Georgia. And I found a race car Barbie. This is race car Barbie.
NASCAR Barbie.
NASCAR Barbie. She's gorgeous. I got her for $20 and I was so excited. She was still in the box and I took her out of the box and I don't want anybody to come for me because the lavender soap theory on TikTok has got me all fucked up.
What's that?
Where basically like, you know how your grandparents would have like lavender soap or they would have certain special soaps and no one could touch them?
No one could use them because they're like fancy, carved out.
And then they die and you're stuck with this lavender soap they never used. Well, I'm going to use it.
Soap. Yeah.
Like use the soap. Enjoy the stuff that it's meant to be enjoyed.
It's meant to be used.
She's been in a box for 20 years. She's now free.
Yeah, my
But I also got this.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry.
You're
I also got this F1 safety car from like 1990 something.
It's got the old school F1 logo, which I still fuck with. That's a cool logo.
Yeah. So that was the only F1 thing I could find.
Yeah, the whole not playing with your toys that are considered like quote unquote collectibles.
I don't believe in that.
I don't believe in that because as a child, I also was gifted a lot of like collectible Barbies or dolls or whatever, and they had to stay in their packaging up on a high shelf on my bedroom wall that I could look at, but I couldn't touch, and it drove me insane. My parents wouldn't let me, and I was like, I'm not typically a rebellious person, but there was a point as a child that I said, fuck it, and I got the chair out.
I've had enough.
I went and took that because I had it was like a 50th anniversary bridal Barbie. She had this gorgeous wedding gown on and she was like, her face was like an old school, it looked like a pinup.
Oh.
The pinup Barbie style and the hair and everything.
Oh my God.
I loved her and I took her out of the box and I was like, I'm playing with her. And then my mom was like, what did you do? And I was like, I'm playing with my Barbie. And then she was like, okay, I will.
I had a Barbie. I never opened her. I don't know where she is to this day. If I ever find her out and about, I want to buy it so I can take her out of the box. It was like this, I want to say it was the 2000s Barbie. And she had this blue dress on. It was a huge blue dress. She came with a little disco ball from what I remember. She had blonde hair.
Like the turn of the millennium.
Yes, I think
Barbie.
It was. Yes. And I wanted to open her and play with her so bad. But no, because she was a collector's and special edition. If I find that Barbie, I'm buying it and I'm opening the bitch because she wants to be played with. And obviously I'm not going to sit around and play with her all the time or ever. I mean, but what I mean is she wants to be out of the box.
Yeah. But so
she's so pretty.
Is there like a plot line there is in Toy Story, isn't there? Where like collectors items or is there not?
No, they have there's a antique store in Toy Story 3. Mm-hmm. I think it's Toy Story 3.
Or no,
2. 4.
Well, in 2,
when's Bo Peep a badass? And no longer part of the group. Is that Toy Story 4?
Might be. I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah. There's an antique store there where there's a bunch of antique dolls and nobody wants to play with them. And
I remember in Toy Story 2 when we meet Jessie and her gang, they're at like a collector's.
Yeah. I guess that is sort of a.
But I was thinking because they are in like their boxes or whatever.
Yeah,
like that's how we meet. Like even the horse, what's his name?
Bullseye.
Yeah, he's like in a box. They're all in their boxes or whatever. But yeah, I'm like they want to be played with. They don't want to be.
They want to be out of the box. So anyway, that was the fun I had. Yeah. So I found these 2 things. Anna calls her mom by her government name and her phone. And when I think of the Easter Bunny, I think of a grown man in a mascot look costume, and she thinks of a humanoid rabbit or bunny that has thumbs and fur and a pink nose. And
a blue bow.
We will have some sort of picture inserted because I have a really difficult time.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are we talking about today?
Do you want to get into Tina Fey or do you want to do 5 hard to hear things?
5 hard to hear things at first, I believe.
Okay, so many episodes ago, this would have been a couple years ago, we did a segment. Mm-hmm. I had found this video on Twitter that was this woman was on Twitter. She was doing yoga poses, and she was doing a series of 31 hard to hear things that would have revolutionized my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
We did the first 5 and we never went back to it.
No.
But I found this video and we're going to finish it. So this is number 6 through 10 of that list. So
I don't know what these are. I have no idea.
So number 6, you deserve to spend your time with people who like you.
Well, yeah.
I think the point being, you shouldn't subject yourself to being around people who don't like you. And like, you don't have to, like, you deserve to be around people who like you and treat you like they like you.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't really subject myself to that, so it's hard for me to relate to. I think that's where I'm just like, if people don't like me, then
it's not my business.
It's not my problem. And if you make me feel a type of way about it when we're around each other, then I just will not be around you. And I have no problem telling you that if I'm asked why. Like, I'm just not going to do it. So I guess to me, that's why I'm like, well, duh.
Well, some people may, and that's why we're going over these things. Because like, some of these things are hard to hear, and some of them we're just like, well, obviously.
If you have a person in your friend group, say you have a big friend group, and there's this one person,
this one bitch
who just always, they don't like you. They always got to say something. And maybe they make the snide comments, whatever. First of all, I am a firm believer in if people have the audacity to make you feel uncomfortable, you have the right to make them uncomfortable back in the sense of,
I'm not going to go. Yeah,
well,
I'm going to challenge.
Well, it's not even. To me, it's like it's always the tiny comments where people are going to say, "Well, just let it go. Like, you're making this a big deal." But like, let's just say, for instance, like, I'm trying to think of a snide comment. Like, if someone makes a comment about something you're wearing or something that you did, I so believe in the whole, well, what makes you say that? Like, explain yourself. And then when they have to explain themselves and they go, oh, well, I'm just kidding. You just do the whole, well, honestly, I don't get it.
How's it funny?
What's funny about it? Like, maybe I'm just stupid. Explain it to me. Because at this point, like, no.
When you challenge people and force them to explain what they mean, it puts them on the back foot because because you're not just smiling and going along to get along.
Yeah.
And the people that make those kind of comments and do those sorts of things, they do them because they've been allowed to get away with it because they're comfortable doing it.
Yes.
And as soon as someone pushes back, they're like, oh, well, I mean, I didn't mean it like that, or it's, I was just joking, or don't make it a big deal or whatever. And it's like, no, like, tell me what you mean by that.
Because to me, like, I'm a really big bit person. I love making a joke. I can take a joke. I can dish out jokes. And I do think there's a time and a place. And for the most part, if we have a good relationship, or even, like, I feel like I can sense the vibe. Sometimes someone's just a cunt.
Yeah.
So, we're doing a bit. I thought this was the bit. This is improvisation. Like, what do you mean? Like, no, this is part of the bit now. Answer the question.
Well, part of being able to go along with the bit and make the joke is that you have to have a sense of like trust with the person, that their intention is good.
Yeah.
And that you're on the same wavelength. So like you and I can say things to each other that if they were transcribed and people just read what we said to each other, they'd be like, these girls hate each other.
Yeah.
But we say them and laugh about it because we know each other and we love each other. And we know what we have that kind of relationship where we can say absurd things and know we don't mean it.
No.
Or like we say it in a joking way and it's obvious we're being absurd or ridiculous
100%.
Or whatever. But that's, again, because we have the trust between each other that I know you would never intentionally say something to try to upset me.
No.
If something did and I felt a kind of way, you would know immediately.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And vice versa. Like, well, I may not pick up on it right away, but you would tell me right away. I can be oblivious sometimes.
I'd be like, I need to think about this. Am I being dramatic? And then, I would tell you.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah. Because I don't pick up on stuff right away sometimes. And you have before been like, don't love that. And I'm like, oh, sorry. My bad. Won't happen again.
Didn't love that.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. I think that you don't have to subject yourself. Obviously, professional relationships are different. But at the end of the day, especially in your personal life, like this is your free time. You do not have to subject yourself to people who don't like you. And honestly, if there are people in your life that don't agree with that, or like they see you being treated a certain way by a certain individual and they don't have your back, like they're not your friend either. So
if you tell someone, hey, I don't like it, again, if it's a bigger friend group, and you tell one of your other friends, hey, I really just, is this other person going to be there? I don't know if I want to go, if they're going to be there because they make me uncomfortable, or they say these things that are really snide and I just don't like how they talk to me and treat me. If you say that and then your friend is like, well, I don't think they're like that, and you're making a big deal out of nothing and whatever, like you said, they're not your friend and you shouldn't be hanging out with that person. Like an actual friend will take your concerns seriously and be like, well, then, it's a case of like, I still want you to be there and I want you to come, but if you're going to be uncomfortable, then one, either don't, or two, we'll go do something else, or we can keep you away from that person. I'll be a buffer. I'll make sure you're not alone with that person, or I'll help call them out when I notice them making the snide comments toward you or other people. I'll also mention something like, you can give the people the benefit of the doubt up until a certain point.
Yeah.
But when stuff is blatantly put in your face and said, like, this person makes me uncomfortable, and they say these things and they feel like an attack, like, don't make me feel like I'm crazy for bringing it to your attention.
Yeah.
And try to gaslight me and play it down when you haven't seen it. But like, if you do see it, help me out. Help a sister out here. Come on. Real friends will back you up.
Exactly.
And have your back.
But I agree. You don't have to subject yourself to people who don't like you.
Yeah. Number 7 of 31 hard to hear things that would have revolutionized my 20s, according to the person who made the list. Number 7, if they care about you, being honest about how you feel won't scare them away.
I agree. Yeah, 100%. Like anybody who makes you feel bad about being honest about how you feel about something, or somebody who decides to, another thing that I think is a red flag as a friend is if I tell you, hey, when you said or did this made me uncomfortable, and then you immediately decide to tell me how you feel about it, that's not comforting. Some of that's deflection. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to go, I really didn't mean to do that. I'm so sorry. My intention was this. That's acceptable to me. What's not acceptable to me is you deflecting and then just saying, yeah, well, I felt like this, so that's why I said it. Like, that's not a friend.
That's not what we're talking about here.
No.
We're talking about how you made me feel.
Yeah, like I 100% think that friendships can have hard conversations. Like,
yeah.
There are times, and there will continue to be times that I piss you off and you piss me off. And then some of those things are worth talking about. Sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
But the times that they are, I've never once thought to myself, like,
if I bring this up, she's going to hate me or not want to be my friend anymore or whatever.
No, like your friends should be your safe place to feel like you can have this conversation. Mm-hmm. And I know sometimes it just does suck because like every now and again, one of us might do something so out of character that hasn't really happened with us. But I'm saying in general, when your friendships last a bunch of different seasons in people's lives, like you might see them do something that you're like, that was odd. And maybe you don't have like a lot of confrontation with a friend, but I think that you should be able to, it shouldn't even have to be a confrontation. It should just be,
it's a conversation.
So, but yeah, if your friends make you feel, if you don't feel safe to do that, and if you as a person feel like if your friends come and tell you how they feel and that upsets you, you've got a lot of work you got to do.
Yeah.
Like that says more about you than it does the person telling you how they feel.
Oh yeah. If somebody approaches you and they are someone you care about, if your friend comes to you and says, hey, you said or did this thing and it upset me, or I felt this kind of way because of the thing that you said or did. If your first reaction isn't, I'm so sorry, I never meant to make you feel that way. If that isn't your first immediate response, what are we doing?
No.
Why, I feel like the apology, like my default is, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Like that should be your first, and the first step is I'm sorry. And then if you want to say, okay, well, I didn't intend for it to come across that way, or I didn't intend to do that, and here's what I was thinking in that moment. Yeah, sure, we can go into that. But then you also have to take responsibility for like, you have to voice that like, I recognize that what I did hurt you in that way, and I will do my best to try not to
100%
repeat that action or behavior or the thing I said. I will do my best to try not to do it again.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to intentionally inflict stress upon you.
Exactly.
Like that should be the conversation.
Yes.
End of.
100%.
Like, and if that's not the way the conversation goes on either side, there's some work that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Whether you're the one bringing the complaint or the one being complained to.
Exactly.
Kind of
and I think a lot of people, especially in your 20s, it's such a sensitive time and there is a lot of life change going on. It's like a second coming of age in a way. It's like, you don't, like, a piece of advice, you don't have to be so defensive.
Yeah.
nobody gets an award for never being wrong. No one's coming to your door going, knock, knock, knock. Here's the award for winning the fight, or here's the award for never making a mistake, or never, like, you do not have to be defensive because you get nothing out of never doing something wrong. It doesn't exist.
You also can't change or become a better person if you don't make mistakes
Yeah.
and if people don't call you out on them.
Exactly.
Like, you're never going to grow that way. Would you rather instead that you keep repeating the same thing and keep hurting your friend over and over again, whether it's intentional or like if it's unintentional? Would you rather they never say anything and you just keep hurting them over and over again, and then eventually they just build up this resentment and then they ghost you and don't want to be your friend anymore?
Yeah.
Or because they can't stand being around you because you make them feel, or the things you say and do and make them feel a certain way? Or would you rather them just be like, hey, that wasn't cool, didn't appreciate that, can we like not do that going forward?
Exactly.
Do you want to keep being this person's friend or not?
I feel like in this modern, like especially modern times with social media, I feel like we've hit a weird boundary where people want to have boundaries, right? But I think people use therapy speak all the time, but it's like sometimes you just have bad behavior. That doesn't have to be who you are, and so people don't have to accept you for who you are. This is just me. Like sometimes maybe you do need to alter your behavior, and that doesn't mean that people aren't accepting you for who you are. Maybe you just have ingrained bad behavior because of how you grew up, or just because sometimes people just have shitty qualities. Sometimes you just came out the damn oven and you had a few shit qualities you got to get cleared up. But I just I reject the idea that like everybody, I feel like there are so many people that are like, they're take me or leave me type people. And
I gotta take every aspect of you.
No.
Like, if there's a part of you that needs to be worked on, like, I don't have to take that.
No.
That's my boundary.
Yeah, my boundary is, I don't like this.
Yeah, and it comes back to, like you said, as a society as a whole, we've shifted so much toward all or nothing behavior and ideologies, where it runs the spectrum of different topics, where a lot of people just the behaviors are all or nothing. And this is an example of that, where it's either you take me 100% as I am right now, shitty behavior and all, or you take nothing. And I hate to break it to you, a lot of people, if you're shitty to them, take nothing.
Yeah, eventually we're just going to take nothing because...
And you're going to be alone.
Yeah, because it's like... Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Sound like Bobby Lee when we do that, because he does that. Yeah.
Number 8. If they don't care about you, suppressing your feelings won't make them stay. There was a lot of negatives in that, like structure-wise. But basically, so if someone doesn't care about you, keeping your feelings to yourself and suppressing them isn't going to keep them around if they don't care about you.
No.
And that's one of those things where some of this may link back to, I hate using so much therapy speak, but it may link back to like childhood trauma or reactions to how you were raised with certain family members, or it could relate back to, previous bad relationships. But basically, I think it comes down to, there are some people who try to minimize themselves and their wants and needs, and they minimize them because they think expressing them will create some sort of conflict.
Yeah.
And that conflict will lead to rejection. So if they minimize all their wants and needs and keep them to themselves and always try to make themselves smaller, then that means that the person they're with is going to stay around, and because they view themselves as the source of conflict and not like the other person.
Yeah.
But we're here to tell you that's not true.
No, I mean, people who care about you, like, they care about your feelings. And people who are selfish and maybe they care about you, but they don't care about you the way they care about themselves.
Yeah, they don't care about you enough.
No.
To put you ahead of them.
And I mean, maybe they enjoy you, but that doesn't mean they care about you.
Yeah.
So just because somebody gives you attention or is nice to you sometimes or seems to enjoy you, like, enjoying someone's company is not the same as caring about somebody.
True.
So, yeah, I agree. I think that it's a hard truth, but if you have a relationship in your life where you're constantly on the back end, constantly just having to minimize how you feel, don't bring this up, don't bring that up, it's not going to change how much or how little they care about you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And if you're afraid that expressing your feelings about something is going to make somebody leave, then you need to let them leave.
Yeah. Exactly.
You should never have to censor yourself to that degree. Now, I'm
No.
not saying, there's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah, 100%.
Sometimes you need to marinate on some things before you express them, gather your thoughts, make sure you're not overreacting or underreacting. Obviously every situation is unique. But there does come a point where there's certain repeated patterns of behavior where if you keep finding yourself not wanting to express things for fear of someone leaving you or rejecting you, then you need to let them. You need to let them leave and reject you because they don't care about you.
No, exactly. Just like you have to move on.
Yeah. And that can be hard for some people. Some people, they need to feel what they think is loved, or they need to feel seen, or they need the attention or that attachment to someone else. And that can be difficult for them to try to let that person go or to move on from that scenario. I think that some people just have a hard time being alone.
Yeah, I think some people have a hard time being alone, but I think that we have put a big emphasis on external validation rather than learning how to validate yourself and learning how to treat yourself and learning how to treat yourself in a way that you would want others to treat you. So if you are having to constantly minimize everything about yourself for somebody else, let them leave. And then treat yourself the way you wanted other people to treat you. Mm-hmm. Because the second you start treating yourself like that, you're never going to accept anybody else treating you any different.
Number 9, trying to be something you're not will only highlight the parts of yourself you're trying to hide. So, and I don't know that I fully disagree with this because I am a believer to an extent of fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
And so, fake it till you make it a lot of times applies to if you don't have the confidence to do something. Just pretend like you do have the confidence to do it, and eventually you will have you just kind of gaslight yourself into believing you have confidence to do something. So I believe in that to an extent, but I think this is trying to say that, or coming from the angle of when you try to be somebody that you're not, you're not going to be successful in the long term at trying to keep that up.
Yeah.
Because it's not innate to who you are.
Yeah.
And so the more that you try and the longer you try to keep up that farce, eventually it's just going to expose the parts of you that you've been trying to suppress or keep hidden.
Yeah.
And it's just going to highlight those parts of yourself that you're trying to do that with. So, I mean, I feel like it's a little dramatic. Yeah,
I feel like that's something that, I guess if we're talking about who somebody is on the inside of then yeah, I guess so. If you're trying to act, it feels like a very deeply personal, that sort of level, not so much surface level of because I'm very much a fake it till you make it type of a person to a degree, obviously, but that's kind of just you said, a confidence thing. This question or this statement, I guess, is sort of having a difficult time relating it to anything other than sexuality or maybe gender stuff. I guess, and because I'm I don't know what other people try. I'm having a hard time understanding what else you would suppress in yourself
and try to hide and try to pretend you're something different.
And I've never struggled with that where I'm maybe mental health struggles, maybe you're trying to act like you don't have depression. So I'm having a difficult time knowing how else to apply that on how it's worded versus those other things that are just innately you, that you just hate about, maybe it's self-hatred and then you're trying to suppress something. To me, that's how I viewed this. So I'm I don't really.
I think to me, when it says that it will only highlight the parts of yourself you're trying to hide, I don't think it means highlight it to the rest of the world. I think it means highlight it to yourself, right? Sure. So if you're somebody who, even mental health is probably the easiest one I think to relate it to.
Yeah.
Is like you said, if you struggle with depression or anxiety, the more you try to cover that up to the people around you so that no one either, you don't want people to worry about you or you're embarrassed by it and you don't want people to notice it. The more you try to pretend like you're fine and not seek help and not try to solve that problem, the more you try to cover it up and pretend like you're okay and you're something you're not.
Yeah.
the worse it gets to yourself. So the more it's just
Yeah.
going to highlight that internally.
Yeah.
So the
Which
more
I get that, like on that level.
the more you try to pretend that you're okay, the more internally you're like, this is exhausting trying to pretend I'm okay. And the worse you're going to be. It's
Yeah.
going to make the depression or anxiety, honestly, I think worse because you're adding a layer of secrecy
Yeah.
and hiding on top of it. That's just added stress.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with it in that regard.
Yeah, I do too. If that's how it was if that's how she meant it, then I agree with it.
Yeah,
in
I
that
think
sense.
trying to be something you're not will only highlight the parts of yourself you're trying to hide, but it highlights it to yourself, not
Yeah.
to the general public.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you're good at hiding or parts of yourself to the general public, they're not going to know.
No. Yeah, I agree with that.
And number 10, this is the last one we're going to talk about today, but I do want to keep going through this list because I find these interesting.
Yeah.
So number 10, cool looks a million different ways, but it's mutually exclusive with inauthenticity.
Say that again?
Yeah. Cool looks a million different ways. Like there's a million different ways you can look or be cool
Yes.
depending on the context of the situation.
Uh-huh.
But looking cool is mutually exclusive with inauthenticity, meaning you can't look cool and still maintain being authentic.
100% disagree.
Yeah.
Nothing about that I agree with. I think the only people who look cool are they're authentic. I think you can tell when someone's not cool. When someone's trying to be something that they're not, or they're trying to come across a certain way. Like to me, when someone's inauthentic, that's not cool. But when somebody is authentic, Jack Black, he's fucking cool. Are you fucking kidding me? He is the most authentic human being I could think of off the top of my head. That's cool as fuck. Jimmy Fallon feels authentic to me. Cool. Two different complete people. All the comedians I follow. Bobby Lee, some people don't fucking like him. I do. I think he's fucking funny. To me, he's cool. He's authentically who he is. So I don't agree that in order to look cool, you're inauthentic. I feel like I'm kind of shocked that was a lesson. Like, what does that even mean? What kind of message is that? In order to be cool, you have to not be authentically yourself?
Wait, so I'm trying to figure out exactly what sentence means. So mutually exclusive means that two things cannot happen, exist, or be true at the same time. So what this is saying is the opposite of the meaning we took initially from it. So what this is saying is that looking cool cannot exist at the same time as being inauthentic.
She should really take a fucking writing class.
Yeah, I'm like, that was worded confusingly. But yeah, so basically it means that you cannot be cool. Like to be cool, you can't be inauthentic. The only way to be cool is to be authentically yourself. And
calm down, everybody. Yeah. I just apparently don't know how to listen. I was like, you're a dumb bitch.
It was worded in a slightly confusing way. But so in this case, I would agree with that statement.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think
100%.
I think that when you are effortlessly yourself and you are unconcerned with the opinions of others and how they perceive what you're doing or saying, you're cool.
Yeah.
Coolness is effortless, right? If you look at someone, you're like, they're cool. I think they are not trying hard to be something they think I want them to be.
Yeah.
They're effortlessly being themselves.
Yeah.
And to be cool is to be, like I said, unconcerned with the opinions of other people in terms of how you behave.
Let me tell you, the coolest thing and the coolest girl around is that ice skater. She's cool.
Oh,
that's cool. She
Alyssa
didn't care.
Liu, the gold medalist.
So she's cool.
She exudes cool.
Yes.
And she's just effortlessly just being herself, unconcerned with other people's opinions on how she's living her life and doing what she wants to do.
100%. So yeah, I definitely was very confused how I first interpreted that statement. So apologies. But yes, I would have.
You're like, how dare you? Jack Black is the coolest person.
And how dare you? He's super authentically himself. What do you mean? All right. I will not spend too much time on this because I want to talk about, we have a discussion, but I just need, did everybody see the article or an article that came out about a week or two ago? And it said, I quote, like this is me quoting from my head, so it's still verbatim, I guess. Or it's not verbatim.
Yeah.
But it basically said, quadriplegic cornhole champion murders passenger in car. There's a lot to unpack here.
So many questions about that
So
headline.
there's a lot to unpack here. Why was he driving? First of all, quadriplegic cornhole champion. There's a video on YouTube. I went and watched it. He's really good. He just holds it right here. Well, kind of like where my elbows would be.
And tosses with that.
And just tosses. Just throws
with the elbows.
himself.
Because quadriplegic is like...
all of it. He ain't got no legs either.
Yeah. But like, where does the function stop? At the elbow?
Basically, it looks like it's where his elbow, like, so his arm stops at his elbow and his leg stops at his knee.
Okay.
That's like what it appears.
Okay.
So first of all, cornhole champion. That's iconic. Okay.
Yeah.
Second of all, let's go to the next half of the statement. He shot his passenger, by the way.
How
did that happen?
there are question. This raises the question that there are firearms that are modified for people without fingers or toes to pull a trigger.
I assumed he just had a regular. I didn't even consider that. I just assumed
he Jimmy rigged it?
I really don't know.
Like how, or did you just kind of like hit it? Because sometimes things misfire. Like, was it, but then how do you aim?
I truthfully don't have these
answers. These are all the questions immediately. I'm like, want to Google.
Yeah. I'm like, where's the police interview? Like, I need this in grave detail. So not to mention, apparently, here's the other part. Not only was he driving, he shot his passenger over some heated debate. Don't know what it was. Apparently, if I read this correctly, he had more passengers in the back seat. And he was like, I need y'all to help me move them out the car. And they were like, what the fuck? Literally, no. I guess they leave and then they flag down the police. But it's 2 hours later.
Did he only have one bullet? Like he couldn't.
I don't know. Maybe he wasn't mad at them.
Maybe.
So,
he couldn't threaten them to help. Or
there's so many things wrong with this.
Which I get the driving part isn't that hard to believe because, I mean.
What?
Well, if he's got up to the elbow and up to the knee, there are pedals, or there are certain cars you can modify that it's just like button. Like
he ain't got no fingers. He ain't got no thumbs. He ain't got no hands.
I don't use my hand to steer all the time. I use like my wrist.
If something happens all of a sudden, what are you're gonna have to grab the wheel? Like how is that even a thing?
I don't know. I mean,
anyway, I'm not trying to comfort people who are driving. I'm not saying they shouldn't be allowed. I'm just saying I'm having a very difficult time understanding why there were 3 other able-bodied people in the car
and
they made him
driving.
What do you mean?
It's not that he can't or shouldn't be driving. There were 3 other able-bodied people.
Why? So then
maybe he wanted to drive.
Maybe, and then they bounced. And then 2 hours later, he somehow got the body out the car, left it at someone's front yard apparently, and is left. Could you imagine? Guys,
listen.
What if you're just chilling at your house? La la la. All of a sudden, this fucking car pulls up.
And you see him at your window and you're like,
like, what's this? He hops out. First of all, that's a shocker. That's a surprise. Didn't expect to see that.
Wasn't prepared.
And then not only that, he walks over to the passenger door, I guess, opens it, or does he
open it from the inside and kick him out?
Did he like shove him out and then you barely saw him? Did you see
just the body fall out of the car?
But just imagine the scenario where he did get out of the car. You see him, which is a shock. That he was driving. That's my first. It's not that he's like quadriplegic. That's a shock because obviously quadriplegics exist. It's that he's driving. And then he drags a body out and leaves it in your yard. What do you do? I'm surely not going to run out there.
Because listen, you call 911.
You're
never gonna believe this.
You're not gonna fucking believe this. I promise I'm not on drugs. You will not fucking believe what just happened.
And then 911 dispatcher is like, "Excuse me, what?
Repeat that, please.
Are you sure that's what you saw?"
Yes.
I'm so 100% sure.
So I just look that up if you need to, if you want to see the craziest thing.
If you want your flabbers to be gasted.
Yeah, that was the story that truthfully, and that's as much as I'm going to touch it. There were if you go to the cornhole video, just
the comments,
all you gotta
I'm
do
sure.
is go to quadriplegic cornhole champion. You will see it.
Yes.
The comments. That's all I'll say. You're welcome. Anyway, we have a conversation.
Yeah. So a couple weeks ago, I saw this clip that resurfaced from a podcast. And I remember seeing it when it first came out. But this clip is of Tina Fey. She's on the Las Culturistas podcast that's hosted by Bowen Yang and his co-host, I think his name is Matt. Anywho, so they do a segment on their podcast that's called I Don't Think So, Honey. And basically they give their guests the opportunity to kind of go off about some topic.
Okay.
And so Tina Fey did her segment of I Don't Think So, Honey. So I'm going to play that clip for you, and then you're going to watch it. And I don't know if you'll insert it. Are you going to insert it?
If we can, we can. If not, I'll link it. If we're allowed to insert it. I don't know how long we're
Or we can
allowed to.
briefly summarize what she says.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play this for you.
Okay.
I don't think so, honey. Bowen Yang giving his real opinions about movies on this podcast. I regret to inform you that you are too famous now, sir. You hang out with Ariana and SpongeBob now. That is your life. Learn from my mistakes. Learn from IO. Podcasts are forever.
5 seconds.
Authenticity is dangerous and expensive. I don't think so, honey.
Okay. So basically, to summarize what Tina Fey said in this segment is that she told Bowen Yang that he is too famous now to be giving his opinions on movies and basically like entertainment.
Yes.
And she ended the clip by saying, she said he's too famous. She said he hangs out with Ariana and SpongeBob now. He's too well known. And if he wants to keep getting jobs, like she said specifically, you can't criticize on your podcast. You can't criticize Saltburn. And then when the director of Saltburn or whoever is wanting to work on the next project, and they're not going to cast you in their project because of the things that you said about their previous work.
Yeah.
And she ended the segment by saying, authenticity is dangerous and expensive. Learn from others' mistakes.
Yeah, I agree with her. I do think there are two ways to view that. I think that like having an opinion in a way of like, this is what I enjoyed about the movie, this is what I didn't enjoy about the movie. I don't even know if there's a way you could do it, even like politely, especially if you're in the film industry, right? And you decide to do a podcast, you are sort of putting you really, why would anybody want to work with you if you just shat all over them? And you're the one that's going to want these opportunities. It's one thing, honestly, if you're one of the people in power, I guess, if you're a director and you just, but again, it just comes kind of, it sort of feels like tacky to like,
but even if you're Quentin Tarantino, who said what he said about like superhero movies.
That was Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese.
And he was
whatever, whoever. Sorry.
No, how dare you? They're different.
Okay. Even if you're Martin Scorsese, who said what he said about superhero movies, basically, that he was like shitting on them.
He said he enjoyed them. He said they were like amusement parks, though, and that they were ruining cinema. And he was 100% correct.
But then people look at him and they're like, wow, you're kind of a snob and kind of a dick.
They said at the time.
Yeah.
And then 10 years later, was it 10 years? Everyone said, oh, fuck. He was right because look at the oversaturation of like insane
Well, I don't think it's
shit.
the problem. I don't think the superhero movie as a genre is the problem. It's the oversaturation and then people putting out shitty superhero movies.
Yeah.
It's not just inherently the genre.
No,
That's the
because
problem.
let me tell you, a great superhero movie. I know it's a side note. Zack Snyder's fucking Man of Steel is a phenomenal superhero movie, and not enough people love it. And it's so fucking good. It's one of my favorite superhero movies. That's all I have to say. But that's also because it's not just fucking here's glitz and glamour and explosions and this. Like, it's a way deeper story that you're like, you could appreciate. But the point is, I do agree with her. I think that you can't be surprised if you're gonna do it. Don't act surprised if people are knocking at your door when you've talked shit about projects publicly. Like,
I think that some people conflate being authentic and having an authentic voice and experience and expressing that authenticity and your opinions. People conflate authenticity with negativity.
Agreed.
So if I'm working in the film industry and I am talking about other people's work and projects and films and stuff, things that I'm not actively a part of or haven't taken part of in a project, I'm not going to criticize them. I'm going to talk about the things that I liked. Because if I'm actively working in that industry, I don't want to focus on the negative stuff. Because I'm sure I've worked on shitty projects before or done shitty performances or whatever, or not done my best on every project I've ever worked on, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want people coming for me like that. But also, like, you can't be burning bridges before you even get to them.
Yeah, and you kind of have to decide, what do you actually want your career to be? Because you can't, like...
You can't be a critic and make the thing.
Not publicly.
You can consume it or you can make it. I don't know that you can do both if you're going to be 100% consumer critic in terms of you want to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know that you can have it both ways there. Like, and there are times that, like, even with this, you know, with what we do, you know, there have been times that during our F1 episodes, I've cut shit out that I'm like, that's not.
It was an authentic moment in a conversation between friends.
Yes.
But it's not necessarily something that we need to put out publicly.
No.
Because it could have a negative effect on us. And
yes.
That's not us being inauthentic.
No.
That's us being smart.
Yeah, that's us being smart. It's also looking in the moment like, oh, that was just something that I said, and that I don't even know that was 100% meant. Let's just cut it out. I've done that on this podcast before where I'm like,
I don't even know if I really meant that when I said that moment, like, or said that thing.
Exactly.
Or I didn't mean it in that way, or that came across nastier than I wanted, or in a weird way that I didn't intend. Like,
exactly.
So that's not being inauthentic. That's just being smart and being able to edit yourself after the fact. But I think to this where, you know, again, too many people conflate authenticity with negativity. I can be, if you're in Bowen Yang's position, he can authentically rave about and talk about the things he enjoyed and liked about different movies and different pieces of media. And that's all you have to talk about. You don't have to talk about the negative stuff.
Oh, yeah, but
like, if you don't like something, don't review it or don't talk about it.
Well, I think, too, that's part of it, too, that's interesting is, like, I think of Jeffree Star as somebody who, if you don't know who Jeffree Star is, he's a, like, makeup mogul. Is that what you would call him? Mm-hmm. And look him up.
Business mogul. But got his got fame and notoriety early on in the internet space through like MySpace and singing and stuff like that.
Most of his modern day stuff, 2016 onward, probably makeup. Mm-hmm. He did makeup reviews. He has his own Jeffree Star line, Jeffree Star Cosmetics, but he was known for giving. He didn't take money from other people because he didn't have to.
Yeah, for reviews of products or PR packaging, he didn't accept money for reviews.
Yeah,
because he's like, my audience trust my opinion because I tell them when things are worth buying and when they're not.
Yes, but the difference between that, Jeffree Star doesn't need to collaborate because he has his own line. Mm-hmm. So he could give those. So, because truthfully, to this day, if Jeffree likes something or doesn't like something, I believe him. Mm-hmm. But with entertainment, it's different because it's such a collaborative project that it's like you're not just shitting on the actor or the person who wrote the script. You're shitting on the set design, you're shitting on the sound, you're shitting on the lighting, you're shitting on the entire production. Like, there's so much that when you decide to publicly shit on something that you're shitting on, and especially, it's one thing if you start your career as, I love movies, I want to talk about movies. Like, if we decided one day we wanted to do that as like a third podcast, I would have to consider that heavily just because I've always wanted to be a part of the film and entertainment industry as like an actor, writer, director. So when you become so famous, though, like Bowen Yang now has, so much responsibility comes with that because now you might be affecting people's ticket sales. You might be affecting people's future projects of like viewership of, well, I don't want to go see that because Bowen Yang said it sucked. That's just the fact of life. And so, you know, you have responsibility that you have to kind of consider. One, having a voice as large as he does now, and two, wanting to be in the industry yourself. Like, not only, because that's two different things. Like, one, to publicly shit on me, I'm not going to invite you to be a part of my project. And two, if I could somehow correlate you affecting the project with your voice, I'm surely never going to ask you. And I'm going to warn everybody else that I know not to use you either.
Yeah. Because, like, it's a case of, like, you could, if I run the risk of if I invite you to be and hire you to be part of this project, if you have a bad experience or, you know, if something happened that you didn't like or whatever, I run the risk of you going and talk about it on your podcast after the fact or, you know, trying to it could affect the outcome of the project or the success of it,
that's
basically.
why I think Penn Badgley's podcast is interesting because he interviews people, but he doesn't go in and do movie reviews or talk shit about people's projects. He talks to people, he was one of the people that I started to feel. I had a moment years ago when we were doing this where I was like, am I like fucking up? Like, would this be a reason I didn't get a job if I eventually, became more successful, or I start to get my resume's better, or I get offered a good project? Would this podcast be the reason people decided not to because of something I said?
Mm-hmm.
And I got over that. And a lot of that was because I looked at Penn Badgley's podcast, who's a successful actor, and the way he goes about his conversations, he's not shitting on people. He's just talking to people. And he seems very authentically himself, but it's just deciding what you want to be. I don't know that you can be a huge film critic and be and is very successful and big in that industry. I don't know that can exist easily. I think Tina's right.
Yeah. I mean, I think the film critic as we know it,
yes,
that where people are writing movie reviews and then that has the ability to affect whether people go see it or not, like that time has passed in terms of like a random person being a film critic, right?
Yeah.
You have to, at this point, if anything you say or do to review a film, you have to, like, affects people, you have to have some sort of platform or some sort of following already.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, a random person saying something about a film publicly, like, doesn't really matter, right?
No.
It only matters in the context of, like, who you are now in the grand scheme and the grand scope of the entertainment industry,
Mm-hmm.
and whether you have aspirations to be part of it or just criticize it.
Yeah. But there are still platforms that are for movie critics. So, we still have Rotten Tomatoes. We still have, oh God.
Letterboxd.
There's a few that, like, it's the critic reviews are different than like the everyday person reviews, because critics are also looking for different things versus like the everyday person. But yeah, I agree with her. I don't think that, and I don't like the idea that like authenticity has to be this ugly thing. Like you said, I can authentically just like something. I don't have to like shit on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, and I do think you can have a conversation about a film that you didn't necessarily love,
Mm-hmm.
and you can be critical of it without shitting on it, right? So you can have a conversation where you say, like, I liked these aspects of it versus, like, I had a problem with these aspects of it. Like either the flow in the story wasn't what you wanted it to be, or, the dialogue was like stilted, or, you can be critical of certain aspects of it and discuss them and how could it have been better or what did we want or whatever. You can be critical without shitting on it. Like, the difference between saying, like, there's a difference between saying this film was shit and this film wasn't for me.
100%. Yeah.
And this is why.
And obviously, I'm sure, like, we have definitely had our conversations about films before. We had, our most recent one was the F1 movie. And one before that I know I heavily criticized was Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie. If I was a lot more famous, maybe I would. I don't feel like I overtly criticized the F1 movie to the point that, like, I just shit on it. I think I said plenty of things that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
I do think I probably was very, very, very critical of Barbie. And I probably wouldn't have done that if I was Bowen Yang.
But we're not.
But I'm not. So, and if honestly, if that ever changes, probably would change my approach.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a fact. I don't think that's inauthentic. And I think Tina, I don't know that that's such a hot take, but if it is, I agree with her.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a point at which, like, if you're on the come up or you're starting to build something, again, like Tina Fey says, there's a point at which you will reach where you can't do the same things you've always done in the same way. Yeah. Because that's dangerous and expensive. It could cost you future opportunities. Now, and I don't think that we can then criticize every single thing someone said about film in their past.
No.
It's only once they reach a certain point that they then have to know, okay, I need to adjust how I do this.
100%.
It's like once you reach the cultural, like, awareness, or you've reached the culture society's awareness, like, that's when you have to adjust it. I don't think we can hold everything they've said against them.
No. Yeah, I think there comes a point where you're like, okay, now's the time you got to think differently how you approach things.
It's because they were speaking from a place of not being a part of the industry.
Yeah.
Versus now, everything they say and do, they're talking about their peers
100%.
and their potential coworkers.
Exactly. So
it's just a different thing.
You punch up, okay? You don't punch sideways or down. That's what people said or whatever at one point.
That's dumb.
Well, guys, episode 2
Yeah.
of season 5 of regular episodes. So our questions were, how do you envision the Easter Bunny? And I had a very detailed description. I did not. Mine was basically like a poor person who just needs to be a mascot for 5 minutes and make a buck. How do you envision the Easter Bunny? How do you name your family members in your phone? Is it by their government name or by their nicknames you give them? Like, mom, dad.
Pop, pop.
Pop, pop. And what do you think? Do you think authenticity can be expensive and come? What did she say?
Authenticity is dangerous and expensive.
Yeah. Do you think there comes a point where authenticity is dangerous and is expensive?
Let us know.
Let us know. And again, if you have I would love to read some Why Were You Yelling stories. If you have a story where you were yelling, you were being yelled at, you saw other people yelling, or honestly, if no one was yelling and you just want some advice or you want to tell us a funny story, pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Send it to us in our email of wayypod.storytime@gmail.com. And there's the little bubble for you if you need it.
And it'll be linked in the description too.
Yes, it will. And with that, we will talk at you next time. Bye.